Kleine Nachtmusik by Mozart is a great example of how the bow can do rebounds and retakes. A rebound is where the bow is down and lifting and going down again. I'd like for you to review flying pizzicato. Let's go ahead and put your bow down, take your instrument, have your left hand in first position, and just with your right hand pluck across all four strings, and then as you pluck, do bilateral motion, meaning the body goes one direction, the bow arm goes the other direction, and then as you come back, make a little loop back, which is about the shape of an oval. So let's just do a few of those. We'll do 4. 1, back, 2, back, and 4. Okay, so when you do a rebound bow stroke, which is a down bow, circle, back to a down bow, you want to have that bilateral motion, and the flying pizzicato is a good way to just remind yourself how that feels. Now I'm going to pick up my bow, and I'm going to do just some open strings from about like the Eine Kleine Nachtmusik bow stroke. It's about a third of the bow. It's not, maybe you would use half, but no more than half. So let's try just on the upper 2 strings, DA for viola, AE for violin. Put your left hand in middle position for this, and let your elbow have a little movement here, swinging movement. And let's start with hands close, and then when we do our bilateral motion, remember that the bow goes one direction and the body goes the other, and then we'll make an oval back. So let's do 4 in a row. And okay, let's do it on the middle 2 strings next. Start close to the frog. Ready, go. Okay, now you may have noticed when I set the bow down, I'm letting my arm drop just a little bit along with my hand, and my fingers are the springs that kind of go along with the weight of my arm. So would you feel that downward motion of the elbow first, then it goes into the arm, into the hand, and through the fingers. Okay, let's do the middle 2 strings one more time, 4 of them. Ready? Start from the air, and this is what we call a rebound stroke. You can do rebounds on 1 string. They're a little bit harder to do. That's why I always like to start these new techniques on 2 strings. You don't have to worry about where you're aiming with the bow. Let's try aiming this time, and we'll do 2 Ds and 2 As. Ready? Go. Remind yourself to be moving. You should have your feet about shoulder width apart. Toes pointed out just a little bit. Whether the left foot is a little in front of the right or just beside it is not so important, as long as your body has some nice movement and balance. Okay, now let's just do 1 of each string. So viola start on C, violin start on G. Here we go. And so now you understand the rebound stroke. Rebound is basically in most method books called a lift. But usually if it says lift, it doesn't tell you what to do with the lifts. And so this is an instructional video to help you understand how the body should move when you do those lifts. My teacher Paul Roland was the one who came up with that term rebound, and rebound comes everywhere in all sorts of literature. Now, the second technique that he taught me when I was a student of his, and many students, is called a retake. At least that's the term that I use for it. I don't think that Paul Roland ever used that term. Retake is where the bow goes down, just like you're starting a rebound, and it comes back, but this time instead of going down again, which is easier because you're just flowing in that oval and it just stays in an oval, now when we get back to center, we're going to do an up bow, just a short one like this. So let's try the middle 2 strings, and let's do a retake 4 times. We'll do it a little slower than the rebound. Here it goes. Circle back, now go up. Circle back, go up. Circle back, go up. Circle back, last one. And notice that my fingers do pull in a little bit when I do that up bow. And that's the stroke for Eine kleine Nacht music right at the beginning where you know the bow goes down, lift, up, down. And so many times you'll see this in music. This to me is much more confusing and more complicated because of the change in direction. The bow goes down, it just wants to go down again. So let's do that one more time. We'll do 4 in a row, still on those middle 2 strings, and still using about 1/3 of the bow stroke from the frog. Relax your shoulder, draw that bow stroke so that it goes straight down and it won't go crooked this way, and try to prevent your upper arm from going backwards. Here we go, 4 on the middle 2 strings, and lift, lift off, twice, lift off on the up. Okay, so I'm saying lift off on the up. When you play Mozart, that's the style you would use because he liked that light, airy sort of shortness in the string sound. Other composers don't like that shortness, and so let's do it now with more legato. We're going to do a longer bow stroke. I'll just demonstrate. Lift, connect this time. Lift, connect. Lift, connect. Okay, let's try that together now. 4 times in a row. We're doing a retake again, meaning we're retaking the bow but going in the opposite direction, and we're going to make it smooth with longer bow strokes. Here we go. Lift, go up. Lift, go up. Keep your fingers flexible. Last one. So there you have rebound and retake. You will use these bowings many, many times.